Hey everyone, and welcome back to the HellfireComms livestream. It's time for more of Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, and potentially the final part of the main story of this game, because there is a chance that we finish things up today, and you might notice that I have a few fancy new weapons and armors and shields. That's because I spent an inordinate amount of time grinding for things through trial mode, because trial mode in Zodiac Age is busted. It allows you to get a lot of things that are otherwise difficult to get very easily through repeatedly trying to steal and stuff like that. But we are now here in the Great Crystal, and which way do I want to go? I want to go southwest. There is no map here. I don't know which way is southwest.
That is a good point, game and guide.
Okay, I want to take the ramp that goes down. There we go. That much I know. I did write that much in my notes at least. Yeah, the Great Crystal is an extremely confusing dungeon because there is no actual in-game map or mini-map for it. Let's see, I need Bosch in my party in order to use float here. Yeah, okay, cast your Libra, I guess. That's fine.
I mean, we want to see the traps.
I was going to try to inch up to it to see if I could get it, but I think float's probably a better option.
That's also true, yeah.
Cloud Staff is good. I don't need Bosch in the party anymore, and I want Ash to be getting some XP, so put her back. Thank you, camera. I'm not going to complain about that view, but you know.
Of course not, of course not. We're not going to complain about Vieira butts.
So I actually have much stronger weapons than what I actually have equipped right now, because one of the things that I managed to pick up in my run through trial mode was the Zodiac Spear, which is basically the strongest weapon in the whole game. I don't have it equipped right now because I don't want to be that overpowered. So I actually have, I think, the Dragon Whisper, which is like the second or third strongest spear.
Something like that, I want to say?
Yeah. See, I went through my notes that I wrote out for the Great Crystal last time and added directions for where to go, as if the directions would tell me anything, forgetting that I have no map or mini-map here to actually tell me which way to go.
And, yeah, Dragon Whisper is like the third strongest. The second is the... Oh god, I can't pronounce this. It's like only... There's like two vowels and they're all at the end. Or one is in the middle, one is at the end. It's like Vraspa.
Vrashna or something like that? Yeah. I sort of wish what they did with the ultimate weapons for each weapon type in Zodiac Age, and I guess the International Zodiac Job System. What they did was they took the ultimate weapon that already existed, like the Muramasa or Murasame or whatever, and added a letter, a Roman numeral letter, Roman letter rather, to the end of it, and all of them together spells out Final Fantasy. Let me just check. I want to... I want to go back this way, I think. And now that a gate is open, I should be able to go a different way.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map that you sent me.
I am currently in Broom Peace Ava.
Yeah, I think you gotta go to, Stana Concert.
Ah, okay. I went the wrong way here. That's what it was. Rather than this one, I think I need to go this way. Because this should bring me to... Nope, this is also the wrong way. This dungeon is unbelievably confusing. Not having a map and having all the rooms look basically the same is just the worst thing they really could have done.
Oh, I meant to ask, like, did you hit the switch at Stana Cancer?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you have to go to Brumpis Prati.
Yes, that is where I'm at now. Also, whoever came up with these room names also probably deserves to be hurt mildly.
I get some of them because, like, they have part of the Zodiac in it. Like, there's Cancer, there's Aries, there's Pisces.
Yeah, like, those are the gates that you have to open to get through, and there's more of those. There's, like... What we're seeing here is an extremely small part of the Great Crystal compared to what is actually there.
Mm-hmm.
There is a much, much larger section, I guess, of the crystal that is accessible later on, which is where you find the Esper Ultima and also the Omega Weapon Mark 12. Two of the strongest bosses in the game, especially the Omega Weapon.
Omega is definitely not something you want to joke around with in any Final Fantasy, sadly.
Oh yes. I would say probably its easiest incarnation is in Final Fantasy XIV, to my knowledge, but that's just because it's an MMO, so I don't know how much that really counts.
Yeah, maybe. Funnily enough, Goldmember, that is the exact map that we have.
Yes, that is the exact map that we have, but I do not have it on my screen, and I probably should, but it's a bit too late for that.
If anything, I got it, so I can sort of try to help you.
I am sort of aware of where I'm at right now. This is hopefully going to be... Well, I will say this is hopefully better than what it's going to be like in the next dungeon, which is also confusing, but actually does have a map. So, hopefully that one's not going to be too bad. Let's see. Now I want to go... this way? Yeah, this looks like the only way I can go, so I guess I'm going this way.
Going back to Omega for a sec, all I'm going to say is, with Stranger Paradise having their final DLC and them revealing Omega, PTSD flashbacks went to my head. Because Final Fantasy V having to deal with Omega.
Okay. And now I go this way. I might have to end up redoing this for the non-com section in case Flame can't make any sense of this, because I had to do that for one of the streams before, where I had to backtrack after doing something wrong in a dungeon. Flame had me redo it for the non-com video.
I'm hoping that he won't do that here, because this is already confusing as is. And I don't know if any amount of editing can make it less confusing.
Well, I think just redoing it when I actually know the path will make it simpler to get through, but I think we have now reached the end. I really could have done this at the end of the last stream, because that was way shorter than I was expecting.
Alternatively, Flame, you could always just cut out this entire part. Whether he actually does is not my decision.
There's just really not that much interesting in the Great Crystal itself. It's more the stuff surrounding it.
I've never seen this much.
So it's a mech crystal.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm fine. Thank you. Is that nethicite?
I think... I kind of understand why there is no map. Geez, the camera, sure,
With that much
is doing work
nethicite in
today.
it.
I understand why there's no main map. I sure wish there was at least a mini-map, though.
All of Ivalice,
Oh, for
if you
sure.
wished it.
But the cameraman knows exactly what the viewers want.
Let's see, is there anything... Do I get a save crystal to use first? Yes, I do. Good.
Nice. You said that you picked up the Zodiac Spear from Trial Mode. Anything else that you picked up that's noteworthy?
Yes, I got 3 ribbons, 3 Worm Hero Blades, the Ultima Blade, an Orochi, several other decent weapons that aren't quite the ultimate ones. So, yeah, overall, pretty decent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
this is good to go on with, because there's not a lot of setup that I think I really need to do for the next boss.
And yeah, trial mode is, like, it was introduced in IZJS, but it wasn't as broken because you couldn't transfer your data from it to the main game. But then Zodiac Age comes along and it's like, oh, here, you can do that now.
Oh, okay. Well, that sort of still remains the case in this. When you get to the final floor, you can't keep anything from the final floor because it doesn't create an autosave afterwards.
Oh, that's lame.
There's not really that much that's worth picking up anyway. Also, this is Shemhazai. I don't know how that's properly pronounced, but that's how I'm going to say it. And this boss's elemental weakness changes randomly throughout the fight, so trying to go for any particular elemental weakness just kind of isn't a good idea. So instead, we're just going to bash it in the face.
It does also cast Silence, so if you actually want to use spells, make sure you actually can heal it, or just, nullify it.
Mm-hmm. And the boss is already dead.
Not that it matters.
The other thing that happened was I went and did a few of the hunts from the guild that I had been kind of ignoring. And in the process of that, I ended up getting a few level ups, and I'm probably a little over-leveled for the Great Crystal, but it'll be more on par with the next dungeon that we're about to go to afterwards.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you for passing on the message, Nathan, and I hope you have a good day at work. And we gained another Esper. I don't know if I'll actually end up using this one, but I guess that doesn't really matter that much.
We got Shemhazai, the Whisperer.
Mm-hmm. What do these treasure chests have? That's a reverse moat. And this is a Hastiga moat, so pretty decent stuff.
And a reverse mode is also in the area, apparently.
Yeah, that one I did pick up.
Okay.
This is basically saying, you can only do this once, this is the only way to go here, you can't do this again, kind of thing.
But in its Final Fantasy XII wordiness.
Wow, there is a lot here. I've never really paid attention to the surrounding area.
Oh yeah, this is one of those weird areas that when you actually start paying attention, like, holy crap, look how much detail they have.
Fear not, Princess of Dalmasca. We, O Curia, have chosen you, and you alone.
Yeah, I've never paid attention to the fact that there's just cities and other floating islands around here everywhere.
I wonder if maybe that's partially due to, like, the PS2 just not being able to render them as well as, like, later consoles.
They might have been hidden more by the fog.
Yeah, because way back in the days, like, that's what they used to do for some games to try to minimize loading times, is hide the distance out in fog. Specifically, like, Silent Hill and all that.
So these are the Okuria. These are basically the gods that rule over this realm. They created basically everything. The Magicite, the Nethicite, whatever it's all called. They gave it to the Dynast King Wraithwall in order to subjugate the world, basically, following their, ideals. But he didn't do it quite the way they wanted. And so now they have tried to use Ash in order to do the same thing, because one of the Akuria, has gone against the group, that being Vana, by using Dr. Sid, trying to give humans, people, the power to control their own fate.
We now shall treat you to cut a run for history's flow.
And we get another new weapon, which I assume, much like the Sword of Kings, is way more useful in the randomizer than it is in the normal game.
Yes, it is, just because, oh hey, anyone can use it, you don't need a license. And because it's technically a late game weapon, it's strong, so here you go.
Yeah. The Sword of Kings, this being the Treaty Blade, and the Worm Hero Blade are all great swords that anyone can equip, and they do not need a license.
Mm-hmm.
The Nephesite is ours to give to
But only one of those is annoying to get.
Mm-hmm.
the heretic trespassed.
The Worm Hero Blade is, like, astonishingly easy to get from trial mode. I don't think you even need to get to floor 50, which is where it starts getting really tough, because you can steal it from floor 49, I think.
Judgment?
Which is... I was able to get there at level 40. Which was pretty easy to do. As long as you can survive long enough to steal, and have the patience to keep attempting that steal until you get it, it's not that bad.
History's weave. With haste.
That explains why floor 50 onward gets so hard, because you can get the Worm Hero Blade at floor 49, and it's like, okay, here's like one of the best weapons in the game, we're gonna make things a lot harder for you now.
Oh, I think I have it mixed around. You get the ribbons from 49, you can get the Worm Hero Blade from 50.
Okay, then that even explains it more.
Yeah, those fights on 40 and above, I think, are actually further in the game than where this is in the story. Because 49 is Hashmal, and 50 is Famfrit. Neither of which we have fought because they are in the next dungeon.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's 50 that has the Worm Hero Blade, and 49 that has the ribbon.
It was... Like I said, I got 3 of them. And one of the bosses, probably multiple of the bosses that we're going to fight in this session today, are weak to holy damage, which the Worm Hero Blade inflicts.
Yay!
So things are going to die. Die.
Die! Die! Oh god, my throat actually kind of killed me for that one. Oh, hold on, I need a Ricola.
So anyway, that cutscene was going on in the background.
What's with these Acuria? What gives them the right to tell you what to do?
Will you take revenge, as they ask?
We could not see them, but we heard the Ocuria speak. They may be gods, but we are the arbiters of our
I'm now
destiny.
tempted to quote the commercial.
Your Highness, I'm against
What commercial
this.
is that? The
I
Ricola?
must pay, but destruction.
Ricola!
Yeah.
Does anyone know what happened to Dr. Sid?
So the thing about the Worm Hero Blade, I think I might have mentioned it before, it requires
Should
beating...
have arrived by now.
Is it Yasmat, the Omega Weapon Mark 12, and also completing the fishing minigame side quest. You need to do all 3 of those things, and each one of those gives you an item which you sell to the bazaar, and if you sell all 3 of them at one time, you can buy the Worm Hero Blade, which, as we'll see, is based on the weapon of the main character from the first Dragon Quest game, or maybe it's Dragon Quest 4. I got conflicting reports from people about that. But it also includes the sound effects that come from Dragon Quest, so that'll be fun. You guys get to hear that constantly while 3 people are swinging those around.
Specifically, in Japanese, the name is Tolo Sword, with Tolo being an anagram of Loto, known in English as Erdrick, the character from Dragon Quest.
History is built by our hands.
And the English name also likely alludes to Dragon Quest, because dragons in the world of Final Fantasy XII are called worms. So,
Yep.
even better. But yeah, you need to get the Lu Shang's badge, Godslayer's badge, Omega badge, which is not exactly the most fun way to get them.
I mean, I imagine the fights are pretty fun. We might actually get to see those fights during the next stream. And now that I'm mentioning that, I will actually explain a bit of what's going to happen for the rest of this month on the HFC Livestream.
It is a war of
Obviously, I'm going to be continuing Pokemon Emerald when I can, but next Saturday, you said you're actually unavailable. Axel.
Yep.
And so I will be doing a solo stream where I'm going to be doing a sort of quick look of the new SpongeBob game, SpongeBob SquarePants Cosmic Shake. So I hope you guys tune in for that. That'll be next Saturday. And then the Saturday after, you and Flame are supposed to be doing a Mega Man X, or is it Zero randomizer, something like that.
X. It's Mega Man X randomizer.
Yes, Mega Man X randomizer. So that'll be you and Flame. And then the following week will be the final video for this game, where if we don't get to the final boss today, I'll be doing it then. But regardless, I'll be showing off some optional stuff. At least the Gilgamesh boss fight, and possibly stuff like Eazmat and Omega Weapon and stuff like that, depending on what I can manage to level up and gear up and get to and stuff like that.
Larsa is as he should be.
Also, because I am still on the page for the Worm Hero Blade, I actually forgot about this thing, but it can happen. One of the badges is missable, actually. Specifically the Omega badge, which it is 100% loot drop from Omega Mark 12, but it's missable if you leave the area without collecting the loot.
Oh, and the boss doesn't respawn, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Well, that's dumb.
A power that cannot be harnessed. Warble's best.
I like this comment from Goldmember. Yasma is a stream of its own. It kind of is, but I believe in Zodiac Age it's at least easier, so you don't have to get, like, a 5-hour stream for it.
No, it could be done in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If you bump the speed up enough, and probably even faster than that, really, depending on the kind of gear you've got.
Have I not been an apt pupil?
Like, if you had the Yagyu Dark Blade and all that good stuff.
Which I am going to try to get one of those to put on Vaughn, and hopefully some of the equipment that increases dark damage as well, because that pairs very well, and Yasmat is very weak to dark damage. You can basically set it up, and this was true back in the original, you can basically set up the Yasmat fight where it just goes on its own. And you don't really have to do anything. You don't really have to touch the controller, for the most part.
I mean, granted, Final Fantasy XII, if you know how to abuse the Gambit system and all that, it's literally gameplays itself.
Yeah. I don't think I used the menu at all during any of the Great Crystal, and that's like the next to last dungeon in the game. So, yeah. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I have ribbons equipped on my main party, so they're all immune to every status effect in the game. Aside from death, but, you know, that's just death.
Imagine if we could actually wear a ribbon and we just become immune to death in real life.
For too long have my deeds gone unrewarded.
Like, death comes knocking on our door, it's like, I'm here to save you. It's like, oh, you got a ribbon too? God damn it. Fine, you get to live. But when you take that off, I will find you.
You take off that ribbon, I'm gonna fuck you up.
And all of a sudden, you have to take it off because it's getting very dirty and you have to wash it. And then you throw it in the laundry, and death is just right there, and your head just falls right into the machine.
I'd rather stay out of that Sky Pirate's debt, thank you. What's wrong with Redis? I mean, if you can't trust your own kind, who can you trust?
You're an expert on pirating now, are you?
Oh, and you just dump us out back here. Okay. I guess we have to take the long way out.
There's a teleport crystal. Somewhere.
The teleport crystal is back in the main area, or the entrance rather, of Gear Vegan. We have to go all the way back there.
Yep, so prepare your hiking boots.
I think this actually takes us back to the Waystone outside the Great Crystal. No, it does not. Do I really have to backtrack all the way out? That doesn't make sense.
Once you're able to, use the Tellurian Waystone to return to the teleport crystal. Doesn't say which one is that.
Let me look around for a second, make sure I've got this right.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to trek back through the Great Crystal if I don't have to. It was annoying enough going through the proper direction.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, does the Waystone now... Ah, yes it does. Okay. My bad. I just used the same Waystone again and it takes me out.
Nice! There you go, you actually just saved yourself some time.
Yeah. I think last time I played this game I didn't know about that, so I did go the wrong way.
I feel like a lot of people did.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save here. And I believe we're teleporting back to Balfenheim.
Yep.
We also miss out on the chance at grabbing the map for Gear of Aegon, but I don't know how important that really is overall, since I've done everything there.
True. Also, apparently Balthier loses out on all the steps for his Fitbit.
Now, I have been informed by the guide that the magic shop should have some new things for me. Yes, we have Arise, which is a stronger version of Raise. Shock, which, despite the name, actually deals non-elemental damage. And Graviga, which we're probably not going to see.
We would see it if it was a Kingdom Hearts 1 speedrun.
Yes, you actually saw it quite a lot in my run of KH1. It's actually a really good thing that Shock is unexpected damage because, well, it's just really good.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm going to pick up a few pieces of equipment, but I'm not going to equip some of them.
Mm-hmm. Admit it, you're just getting them because they look good.
Well, I'm mainly getting them because... Well, at least for the Ame no Murakamo, I want to get it because there's a boss coming up that is weak to wind damage.
Fair. We would all do the same.
Oh, that's actually weaker than the Black Mask. Oopsie.
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, I've actually been watching a 100% Birth by Sleep Terra speedrun lately. It's a beginner, so it's not that bad, and lately, because I've actually been falling asleep to it, I'm currently at the Mirage Arena grinding.
Ah, okay. Yeah?
By grinding, I mean just doing the Mirage Arena.
Yeah, that would be it.
Guess what came right before that?
Hmm?
Command boards.
Uh-huh. Yep. 100% in Birth by Sleep is a mess.
Especially for just a single character. Just imagine all three characters.
Mm-hmm. And then is there much to do for 100% when you get to, like, the secret episode? Or final episode, or whatever it is?
The secret one, by then you should be done with, like, everything else, so that would be the final thing.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how much secret stuff there is in those episodes to, like, go after.
In the secret episode, it's pretty much just the Realm of Darkness, and it's just like a linear path. So you just go straight to the boss, kill it, you're done.
Well, there are, like, branching paths that you can go down, which I thought was really cool when I played it last year, because I had kind of forgot about that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Unless they have a treasure chest, I don't think that there's anything else in there.
I am also one of the 10 people that own a Switch but does not own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Gold member.
So the day-affected Nithisites
I am someone who doesn't own a Switch, but if I were, I would probably not get that. Unless I wanted to play with Snake during multiplayer Mondays when they do it. Other than that, probably not.
No new stone may be born. We say the Sun Crest is the source of all Nethicite's power. If we might break it, the Dusk Shard would be as a thing lifeless. As for the manufactured Nethicite, who can say?
There is another way. We use the treaty blade.
Oh good, I can close this tab for the Great Crystal Map.
Use that to fight the Dusk Shard and the manufactured
I
stones.
no longer need to be confused by it.
Would you like to know the best use of Nethicite?
If you think that part of the map is confusing, look at the rest of it.
Throw it away.
Oh no, I did see the rest of it because of Gold member.
Oh
yeah.
First, right? Don't we? Across the sea and a tower on a distant shore. Redis?
Familiar words, Vaughn. I saw something of the sort written in some documents I chanced upon during my visit to Draklor. The Naldoan Sea, the Ridorana Cataract, and the Pharos Lighthouse. I sent my fleet.
Pharos is just another word for lighthouse. You said lighthouse, lighthouse.
Proof is ours. This lighthouse on the Naldoan Sea is the tower on the distant shore.
I mean, is it any worse than the Department of Redundancy Department?
Shout out to me realizing last year that the Pokemon Ampharos is a portmanteau of the words Amp and Pharos, because it's the Pokemon that lights the lighthouse. If you don't know what a Pharos is, you never understand that, but it makes so much sense now.
Labs, is it? Why not use it yourself?
That's just the thing. My ship's a Bergerben model. It will not work.
And I only know that because the word Pharos is used a couple times in Final Fantasy games. Specifically this one in 14, as far as I
I
know.
would accompany your highness. If you
I'm
do
gonna
not
be
object.
perfectly honest, I had no idea that Pharos meant lighthouse.
But tell me one thing. Why do so much for us?
Today I learned.
The Nabudis
Yes,
deadlands.
because we're heading to the Pharos at Ridorana, which is just the lighthouse.
Nay.
And you can definitely know that because the dungeon of Ridorana that is reused in Final Fantasy XIV is called the Ridorana Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
There's also another dungeon in 14 that's called the Pharos Sirius, which is also a lighthouse.
And now we have a new guest party member.
Yes, one of the best ones. Which I will be making very good use of in my in-between session time in order to finish up a lot of the optional fights and stuff.
I mean, can't blame you. He is a good party member.
Redis is very powerful, and while he doesn't have infinite items like the original version of this game, can be very helpful for having those extra gambit slots, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, I need to find the Aerodome, which is all the way over there. Did I go the wrong way? No, okay. I just haven't got to the turn yet. Very easy to miss this turn. I literally, while I was looking for the Aerodome, like, before in my in-between session grinding for this stream, I was trying to find it and literally just ran right past it. I ran past that turn.
Are you able to re-recruit any guest party member for the child mode floors? No. I believe it will give you a guest party member if they're in your party when you start, but otherwise, no.
That is correct, yes.
I remember after not playing this game for so long. And now we finally have the airship to use as we wish.
Yes, we finally have access to Balthier's airship for real now, So we can use it for quick travel, even though we still have to go to the aerodome to access it, or any of the points on the map where it is anchored. Is this a floating island, or is this literally just the edge of the world? I don't know. Because it looks like it's just the edge of the world, where the water just cascades over the cliffs.
We'll just say yes, it's both. Because, I mean, look at this. This is supposed to be a lighthouse. What is it like lighting? The edge of the world?
I mean, if you're on the sea, then it's meant to show, hey, don't go here, this is the end, you're gonna die.
Especially considering it's on the edge.
Yeah.
On distant shore. And about its peak.
This is also the area where Yasmat will spawn when you have the hunt active. I can actually go show you where that takes place.
That mist, the Suncrest waits.
My lady, your words still sound of doubt. Pray you reach your answer ere we the Suncrest.
And?
Why can't you just speak normally?
Should I choose
just
revenge? What then?
Why you gotta speak all
Then your
weird
woe
like that?
shall be your own.
Ye Old English.
I guess. It's a little bit like that.
Vaughn, a word. If something untoward should happen to me, you're taking the straw.
Untoward? What's this about?
I am the leading man. Might need to do something heroic.
Oh, I love
I'll show you
Balthier.
how to fly her.
Mm-hmm.
But if something happens to you in this dungeon, how are you going to show us how to fly the straw? That's not how that works.
Well, Vaughn, the best way to learn is to just do. Have fun.
Alright, I'm going to save again because why not?
I'm trying to remember, but is it like birds that actually like throw their young off the nest to make them learn how to fly?
There's something about that. I don't know how true that actually is. Especially for like how many species actually do that.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what Balthier is like doing. Like, you're gonna learn how to fly, or you're gonna learn how to die.
So I have Ash, who is my black mage in the party right now. By the way, I changed around everyone's classes since the last stream, which I kind of forgot to show off, I think. But she's my black mage, and I have her set with gambits to automatically target. Oh my god, Redis. Holy shit, my dude.
Oh, geez, Redis. He just, like, went right in there and, like, took a big whiff. Like, yeah, it's not that bad. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so as I was saying, she has Gambit set up to automatically target weaknesses for fire, blizzard, etc., etc. And my two red mages, which are Fran and Pinello, have Gambit set up to target weak to dark, since they can cast dark damage. This right here is the Colosseum where Yasmat is fought, and yes, these traps are all here during the fight, and you do have to deal with them.
Yep. Ah, those hours spent here. Good times, good times. I think, I don't know.
Yeah. Generally, the best thing you can do, rather than having to worry about float constantly, is to just kind of find an area where there's not many of the traps, and any that are nearby, just hit them early on in the fight when it's pretty easy to recover from any of the damage or whatever. Okay, can't go that way. Lots of kind of sprawling paths here in this Colosseum. I still can't go that way. The music here is kind of understated as well, because it's almost too quiet for me to hear, even though I have my volume turned down quite a bit. that's not how float works. You can't just hover over the gap, even though that maybe should be how it works.
It should be.
Also, hey, this is the Ultima Blade, by the way, if you want to go look at that. We're actually going to be... we could get, I should say, another one of these in the upcoming dungeon. I don't know if we'll actually manage to get it or not, because I don't know if it requires some optional stuff or not, and whoops, I didn't actually mean to hit that trap.
Well, Bosch just got silent, and so did Redis.
That's fine. See, I think this is the way I need to go. Hey, Kura.
Hey, Kura. Ah, so you know, like, there are some dummied-out weapons, right?
Yes, yes I do. Also, I forgot to change my ribbons over to Bosch.
So for those who don't know, one of them is called a flimsy blade, and you actually see these in many of the weapon shops. They're actually displayed on the racks and inside the glass cases.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, even, one is actually used in the game by Bosch when he joins the party as a guest.
Okay.
And for being a flimsy blade, it has a 22 attack rating.
Oh, alright.
Which is interesting. Also, apparently there's also the Hero's Blade, which is a very weak one-handed sword. And it makes a unique sound when it hits enemies, and has a menu picture.
Huh. Okay. Oh, hey. A free pair of ghillie boots.
Yeah, that unique sound sounds like you're smashing something, like with a... not with a sword, but like a hammer.
I think I get a chance to use the save point up here before the boss fight. Also, check out these traps on the way leading to that save point, though.
It's like the developers knew that is the path you would probably take.
Yep. Alright, time to set things up. The next boss that we're about to fight is weak to holy damage, and so I'm just going to give my 3 strongest people a Worm Hero Blade, and then put haste on them, and put the controller down. Wait, let me also give them ribbons. Make sure I do that. Because this guy can add some status effects.
I don't remember if the OG Final Fantasy XII had widescreen support. I feel like it might have, but maybe not.
Alright. That's haste on everyone. I figured I would just use a moat to do that quicker. And now we enjoy the carnage.
Oh, yeah, the US version actually had a 16:9 widescreen option.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to Japan, which did not have that.
Oh, I walked right by that treasure chest. That treasure chest had a guaranteed pole weapon called the Sweep, which is probably the best pole arm that I've seen so far. Oops. It doesn't really matter, though. The only person I could equip it on is Balthier, who has either the Dragon Whisker, or the Zodiac Spear, so not worth it anyway.
Well, here's a question. If you found that in a supermarket, would that be called a supermarket sweep? I wonder how many people are going to actually get that joke.
I get it, because my mom watches game show stuff, or used to watch it a lot. Not so much
I used to watch that a lot, too, so...
Yeah, so this is an undead dragon boss, so like I said, it's weak to holy damage. And... Okay.
Poor thing. So, ironically, it's undead, but for those who don't know, it's called hydro, which is water.
Mm-hmm. It also looks very dry.
Yeah. Clearly, it needs some moisturizer.
This is like, Redis was actually no help here at all. He actually made the fight slower because Vaughn wasted time casting Asuna at one point. Okay, there's 2 bad things about the Worm Hero Blade. 3, I guess, if you count the sound effects, because those can be annoying. But the holy damage can be an issue if, for whatever reason, you don't want to be doing holy damage to something.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the fact that it's a really, really, really slow weapon. It is basically one of the slowest attacks in the game, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's the slowest weapon with an extremely long charge time, but it also has the highest combo rate and the highest attack, or one of the highest attack powers, so sort of balances out.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so I'm going to take these ribbons off. I'm going to have to keep swapping ribbons around every time I change party members, unfortunately, because I only have 3 ribbons, and I pretty much want them to be equipped at all times.
The long charge time can be mitigated somewhat with Haste and Berserk, which also stack with each other. And if you use the Genji gloves with the Worm Hero Blade, you are guaranteed a combo hit.
Ah, okay. Also, this game does bypass the 9,999 damage limit, just in general. Gold member. I think 99,999 is now the limit, but I'm not sure about that.
Engraved by someone.
Yeah, I believe that was added in IZJS because everyone hated the fact that, why am I... Is my damage capped at 9,999? When in Final Fantasy X we got to break that.
Yeah. It's also kind of easy to hit that early on. Like, even with my base weapons and magic, I could break 10,000 damage pretty easily on a lot of stuff. So it doesn't even require that much work or time to get that strong.
Heed it not. Rend illusion. Cut the true path. In blood.
So it is very likely that the rest of this stream is going to be spent in this dungeon because, wow, it is long and also kind of confusing. Not quite as confusing as the Great Crystal because I do actually have a map available. It's just that the rooms are kind of big and windy corridors and stuff like that, and so there's not a lot of way to describe that in a guide, so my notes were unfortunately unable to be, you know, really super accurate to what needed to be done. And also it is just a long dungeon. But if we get this dungeon done in time, then we can go beat the final boss.
Funnily enough, going back to like the damage limit thing, the HP in the game automatically can break the limit. It just doesn't display it. Which is interesting, because you'd think that they would do that for damage, too.
What are you saying is that your HP that is shown on the screen caps out at 9,999, but your character's HP will actually be above that and will be treated as such. It just doesn't show the number, which is dumb. It's very dumb.
Like, I can understand not showing it at least, but can you apply that to the damage as well if you're going to do that for HP? Because it feels weird to have one but not the other.
Alright, so let's go grab this teleport crystal first. So, the thing about that boss that we just killed, which, I mean, do we even really want to call it a boss?
Minor inconvenience.
The minor inconvenience that we just defeated is it can cast Firga, which will drastically reduce party members' MP that it hits. To the point where they can basically get down to 0. Oh right, I need to be paying attention to those.
Yeah, the dark crystals.
Yep. I need to grab these black orbs. Oh, it's a mimic. Or a mimeo, actually.
Kill it!
But we didn't get to see the Firga cast because we actually beat the fights so quickly. And you're just going to see me kind of randomly checking walls like that every so often because there are fake walls quite often in this dungeon, so I want to make sure that I'm checking those wherever I can.
Yeah, this place is not exactly the most fun, and especially if you're going for everything here, because you do have to do things in specific orders, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah. Have fun doing that without a guide.
Yep. Okay, I think that's nothing to do over here, so move on. By the way, the other class that I have equipped on Ash is the Bushi, which normally uses samurai weapons, but I actually don't really have a good samurai weapon right now, so she's actually equipped with the Karkata, which is just a normal one-handed sword. Which is also a thing you can get pretty easily from trial mode. Actually, on the 3rd floor, you can steal it from the flowering cactoid, I believe, and it is in the top 5 strongest one-handed swords in the game. It does take a while to get to the license, at least.
Oh, yeah. I think we could just all agree that trial mode is just a broken thing that they allowed you to abuse in this game.
Oh, yeah.
And if I recall correctly, I think even like the speedruns abuse it when doing like no Seitengrat runs.
Okay.
Because why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it takes some time to get through, but if you can grab a pretty strong weapon that quickly, then it probably helps.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I need to grab these black orbs and use them on these altars. Which, that was the first one, and we need to continue around to get to the second one, and then finally back to where we actually entered the dungeon to find the third one. But we're going to take a little bit of a detour along the way, because I should be able to reach the map urn for the first ascent. The Ridorana Pharos lighthouse place is broken up into 3 separate areas, which I guess 4 technically, because one of them is an optional post-game area, which we're probably actually not going to see. But otherwise, you have the first ascent, the second ascent, and the third ascent. And each of them takes quite a bit to get through. I think I have way more black orbs than I need, but you know what? Doesn't matter.
As long as you can progress, right?
If you ever see an enemy get hit with Confuse, that is the Karkata weapon inflicting that. So actually, super helpful. It's only very slightly stronger than the samurai weapons that I have, and in fact, I think the new samurai weapon that I just picked up, the Ame no Murakamo, is stronger. But that has a wind attribute to it, which can be problematic if an enemy happens to resist it. And also the Karkata inflicts Confuse, like I said, so... Definitely want to grab that. That was a guarantee chest with the Hermes sandals, which will auto-equip haste onto anyone that is wearing it, which is pretty good.
AKA one of the best accessories in Final Fantasy.
Typically, you're probably better off keeping the ribbon on, just because status ailments are very prevalent in this game.
For sure.
But if there's ever a case where you're not needing to worry about statuses, then hell yeah, get some haste on.
Yeah, auto haste is just that good. Also, whenever you keep saying Karkata, I keep thinking of Calcutta and then I just start hearing like an old song I used to listen to like back in my early college days.
Oh no.
From Dr. Bombay, Rice and Curry.
Okay. I think the fake walls appear higher up, so there's not any here right now, it looks like.
It doesn't seem like it.
I didn't want to read the inscription again. So the raid stuff that's in Final Fantasy XIV, based on the Evilise stuff, is sort of a mix of Final Fantasy XII and stuff that's in Tactics. It's not just Final Fantasy XII stuff that's in there. In fact, I would say it's more aligned with stuff from Tactics than it is with 12, because you get more of the characters from Tactics, or storyline, I guess, involved. And at the top of the lighthouse, after going through a clockwork city that was from Tactics, I think at the top of the lighthouse, you actually end up fighting Yasmat, which has a ton of HP, and the fight goes really, really slowly until you do like a phase break to deal a bunch of extra damage to it. And then after that, it becomes more of a normal fight, where you're actually dealing normal amounts of damage to it.
You know what I have to do now, right?
What's that?
I have to look up Yasmin in Final Fantasy XIV.
As far as I know, the design for it is basically the same as it is in this game.
I'm looking at them both. They're very similar for sure, but like, it has like those little energy rings, but the energy rings are completely different colored.
Okay. Probably just kind of updated to match with art style and new technical prowess, I guess.
Maybe. Although the one in 14 is like all yellow, while 12 is multiple colors.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I missed that chest, but I think that's a mimic, judging by the color.
Yeah, and its little like speary face horn thing is smaller in 14.
Mm-hmm.
I feel disappointed, sort of. Sorta, being the keyword. Also, apparently it only has 30 million HP. That's 20 million less, so... Oh! Okay, this kind of explains why it looks different and why it's weaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yasmet is... Actually, should I say it? I don't know if it's spoilers for 14.
I would avoid it, just because there's people here that might not have gotten that far in whatever storyline in 14.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, like, if anything, you got, like, 5 seconds to cover your ears and then give me 10 seconds to say it. But I won't do that. Besides, the wiki exists, you can all look it up yourself.
Yeah, for real. We're talking about the lighthouse dungeon and the Ridorana, the boss at the end, the Yasmat fight. Nat. There's a boss fight coming up, so I'm going to use the Zodiac Spear and not feel bad about it at all.
I mean, I wouldn't. You earned it.
Oh, I need to... Of course. I need to use this now. Maybe not? Did I do something wrong?
Let's see.
All three of the things are active.
Make your way back to the previously blocked door by where you found the Hermes sandals.
Ah, of course, duh. And now it shows that on the map, too. Okay, well, that's just me being dumb.
Spar, where would we be without you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the end of the final part of the raid in 14, it's 3 raids, so there's multiple different things. You fight a lot of espers, actually, and it actually ends by having you fight against Ultima. She is the final boss of the raid series. Hang on, I want to check something. Do I have any stronger magic? I don't think I have any of the stronger fire spells just yet.
If you want to, you could always just cast Shock.
Well, the next boss is weak against fire, so I'll be casting Faraga.
And you said Black Mage. What was Ash's other job?
Bushi. Samurai.
Okay, Bushi. So yeah, you don't have access to Ardor.
Nope. Penelo would, but I don't have that spell.
Oh.
I think that spell is actually in this dungeon.
You could always use oil.
Yeah, I'm gonna inflict it with oil and then go to town on it with Faraga.
Although, I think you're confusing the next boss for the one after that.
No, this is the boss for the first ascent. Says it's weak to fire.
Well, let's actually go in and we'll see. If you had a blue mage, you would have no issues. Oh, jeez. I have to ask, is blue mage, like, really good in Final Fantasy XIV?
It's sort of different, and I think you might be right about what the next boss is now that I think about it.
It's a giant turtle, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna swap my party out. Then I kind of forgot about this.
Yeah, this one is weak to wind. But the next one is the one that's weak to fire, and it is also susceptible to oil, so you can, you know, set on fire even more.
Yes, so to answer your question about Blue Mage, yeah, it's broken, but it's so broken that they don't make it a normal job.
Okay.
It's not something that can be used in normal content, basically.
It's one of those types. Darn it. Yeah, because, if I remember correctly, I think Final Fantasy V was the first time Blue Mage got introduced, and Blue Mage got so broken in that game that it even had its own strategy known as Death by Math. Because, it had all the level X spells, and Final Fantasy V having the old status, which reduces your level, and also reduces enemies' level, kind of made it broken, because you had level 2 old, which hits anything with an even numbered level.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have level 5 death, so you just have to know how the whole battle system goes when it comes to reducing levels, and then, okay, you time it on a 5, you time it on a 0. Congratulations, the boss is instantly dead. Doesn't matter what boss you're fighting.
Also, we sort of got teleported into a desert area, even though we were in the lighthouse.
Yeah, how the fuck does that work?
It's supposed to cast perfect defense when it gets to 50%, but I was killing it so quickly it got to like 40.
I was kind of hoping that you would have killed it before it actually did it, but...
It's now basically just immune to damage for a few seconds, and there's really nothing I can do about this.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah, Shell is useless in this battle because it's all physical attacks he uses, but he can also hit you with multiple characters because he has AoE on his attacks too.
I don't really care about the fact that Redis is hit with status effects because, one, the boss is dead, and two, Redis's damage kind of, even though it's good, doesn't matter quite as much, I think, as like Zodiac Spear, Ultimate Weapon, and Ash using a wind-powered weapon.
Yeah. That's a wall, buddy.
The bosses that we're going to be fighting against here, I'm pretty sure are based on the 4 Guardians from Chinese mythology. That was meant to be based on Genbu, the turtle, I'm pretty sure. We're also going to see a serpent and a tiger, and the phoenix is actually in the underground post-game area as an optional boss, I'm pretty sure.
I believe you are correct, yes.
No, Nat, I never did do that, but I might grab the Seitengrat before the next session just to show it off. Because it would be very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Do I just take the door out, or... Oh, now I think I go back to the Waystone. Okay. I was like one step ahead of myself earlier. It is an absolute pain unless you have one of the programs that they have developed that can follow basically what the RNG values are. There's certain things you can do to determine when the next RNG value that gives you the thing is going to pop up. And so if you do that, it's a lot easier to grab. In fact, a lot of videos about it actually claim it's a guaranteed thing, but of course that's also dependent on you actually doing the thing properly.
Yeah.
And it is ever so slightly tougher to do, I would say, in the Switch version, because the RNG works a little differently.
Mm-hmm. And as someone who has done it on the IZJS version, where it was actually the easiest, yeah, it was actually kind of funny being able to do that. Yeah, IZJS just made it easy because, like, you could tell based on the clicking sounds and the loading times on the PS2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I use the Waystone, and we go up. And now we are in the dungeon proper, where we will actually start rising up, and Nat will probably be able to recognize some of the architecture from the raid dungeon. I need to be careful with just randomly opening doors, because there is a thing coming up, I think, in the next, the second ascent, where opening a certain door will actually prevent you from doing certain things for the rest of it, such as preventing you from using attack, or preventing you from using magic. So I need to actually be paying attention.
Yeah.
And yeah, Nat, this is the Ritorana Lighthouse, except in FF12.
So this is the math raid.
Yes. There's a boss where you have to do math to figure out where to stand.
Okay, so I play video games to get away from things like math. Why do I have to do math?
It is the bane of a lot of players' existence. Because you're trying to do that while also trying to do, like, optimal damage and whatnot.
Although, in fairness, you do have to do math in games just because you gotta calculate all that crap, and someone's gonna do it.
You know what? I don't care. Balthier could just keep the Zodiac Spear. That's fine. It really doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I just like how you're like in the menu about to change and like, nah, screw it.
Yeah. So the prevailing gimmick of this area and the next, well, basically the rest of the dungeon, is that we need to kill the brain pan enemies that you see here. And after we kill enough of them, a bridge will form in a certain place. And once you step on that bridge, it will solidify and be there, I won't say permanently, but basically until we leave. But there will also be some enemies called Dadars, and if we attack and kill those enemies, they will take away sections of the bridge. But the difference is that if you solidify the bridge once it's complete, the Dadars won't take away anymore.
So, I have a question. Are there upgraded versions called Dadaras?
No. I do appreciate the joke, though.
I knew that you, of course, would get it.
It's the Dragon Helm. Is that any better than what I have? Probably not, considering I have the second best armor in the game for Balthier right now. Kind of forgot about that, yep.
It seemed like it gave him more HP, but... do you really need that much more HP?
There are things you can use in Final Fantasy XIV to basically tell you where to go when an attack is going out. In fact, people were actually using that to clear the ultimate hardest content in the game very recently, and there was quite a bit of controversy about it. And so it's just kind of... Those fights are specifically designed to be extremely difficult. They are designed to be the toughest thing in the game. And the fact that people are cheating to clear them is really dumb and just kind of ruins the whole point, especially with the fact that this is all optional content that, one, you don't need to do for really anything in the game. You don't gain very much out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it's something that the developers don't actually need to do either. There's no reason for them to do it other than it just provides that level of extremely difficult content for players to do that want that something extra.
It's pretty much just for bragging rights.
Mm-hmm. And so people are using cheats to basically clear it in such a way that why even bother, really, you know?
And I think I actually saw that because one of the Discords I'm in posted a link to it, and they were like saying, "What the hell? Yahoo News is reporting this?"
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it wasn't like Yahoo English News; it was Yahoo Japan.
Oh, okay, that makes a little more sense. But even then, still.
Yeah, so it's like, what the hell? And I actually opened it, and I see Final Fantasy XIV. I'm like, okay, I can't understand this. Google Translate, please work. And I'm like, oh wow, apparently there was a whistleblower for that whole thing.
Mm-hmm. I think there was several groups that were cheating. But the group that cleared the content first were the ones that were, got the biggest stink about it, because the race that these people go through in order to be the first group to clear is a huge thing. It becomes a huge event for basically everyone in the community to watch this race as it's ongoing. And so to have these people come in and cheat to get it done really just puts just a really awful feeling over the entire thing. I don't know what this equipment is, but it's bad because it's light armor and no one is using light armor.
Well, hey, at least you can say that you have a chaperone.
I actually have Vaughn as my Shikari equipped in magic armor because he's also my white mage. Also, if I did happen to get the Yagyu Darkblade, I would put magic armor on him anyway because I would want to put the black robes on him, which increases dark damage.
Oh yeah, that's the best weapon for the Yagyu Darkblade users, or armor rather, for Darkblade users. Yeah, you're gonna wield the robe as a weapon. You're gonna like spin it around and slap someone like you would a towel.
Do some fucking Doctor Strange bullshit.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, as someone who also interacts with people on MMOs and even works on MMOs, yeah, I see like a lot of crazy shit, and I don't just mean like, you know, cheaters and all that, but I also like see like the people who just complain for the sake of complaining.
Yeah, I mean, there's always people like that too.
Yeah, it's like, so wait, why are you here? Do you even like anything about the game? Because all I've ever seen you do is just insult everything about the game. And then you got the other side of it where it's like, oh, I hate this thing, they should change it. Even though many moons ago, they were saying, oh, I hate the way the same thing is. Change it to make it easier. And now it's easier. It's like, I hate how it's easy now.
That is almost to a T what happened with a lot of things in Final Fantasy XIV, where a lot of stuff was too difficult in terms of grinding for certain weapons and stuff. I shouldn't fight this enemy, but I don't really feel like stopping the party from going after them.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter that much. The only reason that I would bother to do that is if I wanted to go after some special loot that I can get. But I'm going to get that on my own time, because I don't want to have to backtrack across all of these different floors and try to figure out where I'm going and stuff like that.
Let's be honest, who really wants to? This is like this is a dungeon that is not exactly very fun for a penultimate dungeon.
I think it's fine. There are really good things to get back there, like the holy magic is really good, of course. Would be really nice to have.
Oh, for sure.
But I think I don't really need it that badly, especially since I've got the Worm Hero Blade.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, so what Nat is talking about in the chat is basically the ultimate weapons that are in the game are the relic weapons, which originally required dozens, if not hundreds of hours of grinding different, like, multiple things for very low rate drops, and in a lot of cases requiring a lot of effort to be put in to have gatherers and crafters available, so that you could actually make a lot of the things that are required for them. And now you could probably finish one in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just sit down and do it in a single day and have it done, because they've made it so easy. And a lot of people complain, and it's like, these are weapons that are not good for anything past level 50, and the level cap in the game is 90.
Mm-hmm.
These are weapons that were released like 7 years ago or something. No one cares about them anymore. They're only good because they look cool.
Yeah. And in a way, one of the games I work on has a not exactly like a similar issue where people are complaining, oh, it's too easy to get now, but it's sort of like a different thing. Like, I guess like the opposite side of it, where it's like people say, oh, like it should have been this way from the very start. No, it shouldn't. Because one of the weapons right now in the game can take you anywhere between 1 to 10 runs to actually drop. Before, it could take you up to 1,000 to get it to drop, because there was no drop rate increase.
Wow.
Now, whenever you clear the dungeon, and it's a very short dungeon, like you can complete it in 30 seconds. I wish I was joking. There's like a drop rate bar that increases every time you complete it, and it increases your chances. So now, over the years, that has been changed. First, that thing was added. Then they made it so, okay, it drops sooner. The bar fills up faster. And 2 years ago, I want to say, maybe 3, they made it so that now you can get like a weapon in 10 runs.
Okay.
It's not guaranteed, but it's practically a guarantee at that point.
All right. So I held back on fighting this Daedar enemy because I wanted to make sure that bridge was complete first, because I only needed one section to finish it off.
sadly continue my rant. It also comes at an instant, like, +9 enhancement, which is actually pretty powerful for this weapon, but when it first came out, it was at +0, so you had to manually enhance it. But it also had another system where you had to grind out shards to make discs for it that gave it more stats. Now it comes with those stats already on the damn weapon. And someone, like I said, was saying, oh, it should have been like this since it launched. Again, no, because when that weapon came out, it was the most broken weapon in the game. And there were some people that got it very quickly, and suddenly they were just clearing everything with very little effort and murdering everyone in PvP. But PvP's PvP.
Yeah.
So it's like, buddy, this is why you're not a game designer.
As you may have seen back there, there was also a red bridge that I could have gone across if I defeated enough Dadars. It works basically the same way. Kill the Dadars to make a path, but if you kill any brain pans, it actually removes the segments from the bridge. And I don't actually remember what's across it, but that might be where Holy is, or some other stuff. I'm not actually sure.
Let me see. I did say that there's 2 one-time guaranteed chests. Head all the way back into the Wellspring Ravel third flight and cement the red bridge. So yeah, it's past the red bridge. Then you attack the Fool's Facade on the other side to reveal the room with the Gungnir and Holy Magic.
Ah, okay. So it would also have one of the best spears, which has fire element to it, which is not a big deal because I don't really need a good spear or anything with fire element. Although it would be nice to have for the next boss because the next one is actually the thing that's weak to fire, but still.
Also, if you can't reach the Holy Magic, run around killing Dadar until the floor respawn.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just going to call them Dadars now.
Again, I don't think I need that many, but I just don't really want to have to backtrack any more than the dungeon is already making me.
Doing this on the PS2, IZJS, I was like here for hours trying to do all this stuff, and I'm like, why is this such a slog? I don't remember it being such a slog. Then I remember that I only did this once before on the original PS2.
Uh-huh.
And I never done it on the PC version. So now that I say that, I haven't even gotten that far in the PC version. I've only just used it for messing around with the randomizer.
Ah, okay. These things here would actually explain a lot of what I need to do to move forward. I say a lot, but maybe not actually that much. But I don't really need them because I have a guide. And we are, I think, approaching the end of the first ascent. So we're close to a third of the way through this big-ass dungeon. I want to say, judging by the length of, you know, what's in my notes and what's in the guide, that the other 2 areas, the second and third ascents, are actually a little bit shorter. Also, this is a rare enemy that spawns if you kill 10 Dadars, I think.
Vishnu.
Yes, and now it is gone. It's one of the enemies that I had to fight in trial mode. I think in trial mode you can steal the Mage Power Shishak from it, which is the second best helm in the game.
Yeah, you are correct. It's 10 Dadaras to make it spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Vishnu, common steel is Judicious Staff, uncommon is Escape Mode, and the rare one is a Maximilian.
Yes. Oh, it's the armor, not the helm. Cool.
Yeah.
There's some chests here that I should be able to grab, and I'm looking for them and not seeing them. Maybe they're out here. No, it's actually because they're in the next room. Okay. Well. Oops.
Whoops.
Yes, this is where the things are at. Okay. Just keeping an eye out for the chests now, which are right here. The black mask and a Reflectica mode. Alright, so this is the enemy that is weak to fire. Now that I actually have the right thing. Pinello has been in my party for a while, but did not have a ribbon equipped. That was not a good thing.
Oh, Pinello.
More like oh Spar. That was definitely Spar's fault.
Oh, Sparnello.
So you have, yep, Fireweak Firaga. And I want to equip you with... Do I have a Judicer Staff? Yes, I do. Equip that because it heightens magic power more than a sword would, and you're not going to be attacking normally. We get sent into another illusion. I'm not actually sure what this is meant to look like. Like what area?
I would say like the Yensa Sea. Sand Sea.
I think that's correct, because this thing is a kind of mutated Yensa. And I think its rare steel is actually a Yensa scale or something like that. Really, the time that it took me to cast the spell was probably not worth it, but oh, whatever. I have once again reached the point where I'm pretty sure that I grinded too much and got myself too powerful. But it's okay. If there's any game that I'm okay with just kind of decimating, it's this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's against a scale and against a fin.
Ah, okay.
And a Pisces gem. So it's definitely a fish.
Pisces gem is maybe useful. I don't remember what good things you can make with that.
I don't remember.
I'm probably just not going to bother with any of the bizarre stuff, because it's just kind of, outside of a couple weapons, probably not worth it. Let's see, I want to get Fran back in the party so she can get some XP and level up.
Oh, so I don't know if it's like becoming a meme now, but there's like this thing like the what is your variety whatever score thing, where it's like there's like a whole list of stuff, and like have you watched or like any of these series or anything in these series?
Yeah, I did one of those for anime yesterday, actually.
So, during the stream, and not too long ago, actually, it was posted in our Discord, what is your Variety Gamer score?
Oh, jeez.
And I just, like, kind of been slowly picking at it, and I just finally finished it. Apparently, my score is 70 out of 100.
Oh, cool.
Which, I'm checking some of the other submissions from our people in the Discord. I think I have the most. Yeah, I have the most. Which, so far there's only been like 4 or 5 people, but, yeah, 70 out of 100, holy crap.
Okay, we are now on the second ascent of the Pharos. And this is the part where we're gonna have to give something up. We can either give up our ability to attack with weapons, give up our ability to use magic, give up our ability to use items, or give up our ability to look at the minimap. We have to give up one of these things to move on. You can't go anywhere without doing that.
Well, I know one thing, Spar, and that's that I am never going to give you up, and I'm never going to let you down.
That's the magic. Knowledge. This is the one I want to use because this is like the easiest thing to manage. Just not having the minimap.
I'm actually hurt that you did not say anything about that.
Nope. I'm good.
Come on, that was perfect! Oh well. Maybe next time.
Yeah, so now the minimap is gone. We can use the regular map still, so it's not all that bad. Immediately runs into a dead-end wall. Immediately runs into another dead-end wall. Maybe I should have given up items as well, because I think not having the mini-map kind of sucks.
Kinda?
Like, if I were playing on my own, I would just deal with not having the mini-map, because I could sit there and, you know, just look at the guide every couple seconds. But I can't really stop to do that while on a stream.
Yeah. Okay, so you chose knowledge, so you don't have the mini-map, right?
Correct. I think I want to get to... Yeah, I want to go back to the southwest.
Nat is asking if you're the real-life version of Zorro. I mean, if you are, don't worry, it's okay.
Is this what I'm looking for? That was what I was looking for, yes. Guaranteed chest that has an opal ring, which will let my magic actually bypass reflect. I'm pretty sure is what that does.
I believe it is. I will double check it. Yep, Pierce reflect status.
And I think, well, not this way, but in the general right direction of where I'm going now.
It also got buffed in the Zodiac version with the +2 defense and +5 magic power.
Ah, okay.
Because apparently just bypassing reflect wasn't that good. Although they did also make it harder to get.
Ah, okay.
Because you could buy it from like a bazaar in the original, but they made it so that you can't buy it from shops.
There's one guaranteed one right there, and the rest you would have to get from trial mode or probably the Cerobi step. Also, wow, that is a really rare drop because that's one of the best light armor hats that I just got there.
Yeah, Crown of Laurels, yeah.
Again, no one in my party is wearing light armor, so kind of pointless. Very upset that I actually spent time resetting in trial mode to get that, and then realized that no one was going to wear it anyway. There is a fool's facade, which is a fake wall here somewhere that leads to the map urn, so I'm going to see if I can find that. I didn't actually write down in my notes where this thing was at, just that it was in the northwest corner. And I think this is it.
Yeah, I see Fran triggering traps again.
Yep, and there's the map. Okay, now I want to go this way. Once all these enemies are out of the way. Come on, Redis. You're kind of being a bit of a problem here. Are you kidding me?
What?
That was a drop. I got the Gunir from a drop.
Oh, geez, Spar.
Alright, how's that for some RNG? I don't think this was actually the right way that I thought I was going.
This is a very rare and powerful spear. By the way, here's another one.
Yeah, so I could have gotten a free one from the stuff in the previous section, the first ascent, but I just got a free one from a random drop, so like, you know. It's not good at all for being a spear because, I mean, I have the Zodiac spear and that's just better. But it does have fire elements, so it would have been good against that last boss. And I can't find the thing that I'm looking for here, so I think I'm just going to move on. Which I think is in the southeast. God, I wish I wrote my notes better.
You did all the things and have to go to the exit, right? Or is there one more thing they have to do?
I'm kind of just looking for the way to get to the next room.
So the one to the bottom right?
I think that's where I'm going. That's where I'm heading right now, anyway.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just a couple of rooms away from it now. It's just, there are 2 exits for each of these floors. Well, I guess 4 exits. 2 go up and 2 go down. And so I just want to make sure I'm going the right way. This looks like it's going up, so I guess this is the right way. There was a Tula, which was guaranteed if I was able to find that path that I was looking for back there, but I could not find it, sadly. Wow, this was just not in my notes? I just completely skipped this entire area?
Oh no.
I don't remember seeing anything about this room, so I think it's kind of just more of the same thing, which is why I skipped it.
Probably. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you actually wrote in the notes, southeast room, same shit, different area.
I just didn't write anything about this room even existing, because the next thing on my notes is Reach of the Damned, which is the room after this.
Well, what I mean is, like, if you were to actually do that,
Yeah.
you would probably just put, like I said, same shit, different area.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really what it is. It's like the same shit. Gotta love padding in the penultimate dungeons.
Yep. Looks like I'm heading to the northwest corner now.
Apparently, you can find the guild toss technique here if you didn't get it earlier.
I think I probably have it, but also don't really want it anyway.
Yeah, because you like you're having money right now.
Well, it's not so much the fact that I like having money, it's that I don't think guild toss is that good. Also, I can't get here from this side, so I think I need to go to the northeast and go around.
The other dead end Holly may have bamboo arrows. Go back to the northeast exit from the ring and head all the way north. Oh boy.
These things are weak to earth, so I'm going to equip Vaughn with an earth weapon instead. Because it's like the only way to do earth damage.
Yeah, this game is not really nice to earth elements.
Or water. Because you only ever get level 1 aqua spell, you never get Aquara or Aquaca.
That's true and sad. Wait, no, I thought they added it in the later ones.
Nope.
Or the later versions.
Nope. I think you can get motes for it, but you never actually get any of the spells.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, I can open this door now. Nice shot of Vaughn's hair. This was worthless. I need to go to the upper path, not this one. I suppose it does make a shortcut if I want to go back the other way, for whatever reason.
So, funnily enough, Watera, Waterga, and Waterja does exist, it's just enemy attacks only.
Yep.
Which is really stupid! But hey, at least you have, other water sources like Briny Cannonade, which is an Esper attack, or Tsunami, which is an Esper attack, or Famfrit, which is an Esper.
You have some weapon and ammo types, or motes. That's about it.
Yeah, like the Fumaro, and the Meter, and the Murasame, and the Six-Fluted Pole. I guess that's their way of compensating. I hate it.
There's actually, like, way less of the weapons that do earth damage, though. I can think of 2 off the top of my head. And I'm using one of them right now.
Okay, so, just for reference, all the water sources in the game take up, like, my entire screen. And it's like just like a typical 1920 by 1080 monitor at 100%. Earth, on the other hand, it like takes up maybe like 50%. And that's all sources, including enemy attacks.
Right, yeah. Oops, Vaughn does not have a ribbon on. I keep forgetting to do that.
Yes, Dex Monicus, we are at the Pharos Lighthouse.
We're just about halfway through it, I would say. Maybe a little bit further than halfway now. These are like the most threatening enemies that I've seen so far today, and really only because there's multiple of them at a time.
Oh my god. The element disparity in this game is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's see. Okay, they at least like have like a lot. Well, no, they only have Arrow and Iroga. They don't have Aurora, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But there's more wind elemental than there is like most other elements, even like thunder and blizzard. And of course, there's way more fire sources in the game than there is of anything else.
Yeah, which is to be expected, I guess. Also, to answer a question that was asked a very long time ago, yes, I do actually have that many save files. Because I make a new save file every time I save, basically.
There's just as many dark elemental attacks in the game than water as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that there's more than earth, there's more than thunder. Although, that's mostly because of the fact that a number of the weapons are the Darkblade, or not the Darkblade, what the Yagyu Darkblade type is. I forget exactly the weapon type.
Ninja Blade? Ninja Sword?
Yeah, that's it, Ninja Blade. All of those were dark elemental in the original, so they're counting those too.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I have a katana that's earth element. I did just pick up the Muramasa, which is the strongest of those that I have right now.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a Koga blade?
Yes, that's what's on Vaughn right now.
Yeah, Koga blade, Gaia rod, and Cypress pole are the only earth weapons. Not including, like, arrows and ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Or guns.
I forgot about guns, but honestly, I think guns are so weak that Zodiac Spear and Ultima Blade are going to be stronger anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Spend the time to cast haste manually instead of using a moat this time. Because the next boss, like I said, is weak to earth damage, which I only have with the Koga Blade, unfortunately. I'm not going to bother casting haste on Redis. He's fine. I only played the first Theater Rhythm game, and I thought it was fine. I'm not big on the FF series in general, so it wasn't really my thing. I think a rhythm game for Sonic would be great.
It does have good music, so yeah, it would work out. Oh man. I just remembered Resident Evil 4 Remake's coming out soon-ish.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I did see some of the recent news and I was like, oh, this is starting to look really good.
Oh, Rhythm Heaven. Yeah, I don't know anything about Rhythm Heaven, so I never played it, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, I don't know much about Rhythm Heaven. I think like the only rhythm game I know is like Rhythm Thief, and that's because Tom played it like so many years ago.
Yeah.
And I only remember because of I think it was the Louvre mission, because that song's just stuck in my head.
Alright, that is the second ascent basically done. Like I said, the second and third seem to be a lot shorter, based on what was in here. I guess it's the lighthouse getting thinner as it goes up, which makes sense, I suppose.
As we are now about to hit the third ascent.
And we have taken down 3 of the Guardians so far. Genbu the turtle. I forget what the serpent is called, which I should remember because these are also enemies in Final Fantasy XIV.
I wanted you to say it's Slit or Slight, because it's a Y, so...
Yeah, it's a different name in this game than it is for the actual Guardian from mythology.
You're looking up the...
Seiryu, thank you, Nat. Yeah, Seiryu the Serpent, which is basically replaced in this game by Slit. Or Slight, whatever it is. Slit doesn't sound like a good name. I don't like that. I don't like that either. Oh, no. Why is that here?
Why wouldn't it be here?
I mean... Alright. I guess I'm fighting this.
You could just run away. You could just run away from it.
No. I mean, it's weak to fire. I'm gonna fight it. Especially since I picked up the Gungnir.
Alright, have fun.
Although I need to grab the license for it.
I guess I'll finish your thought. You pretty much just defeated Byakko.
Yes. And the Phoenix is in the Subterra, which is the post-game area.
Mm-hmm. And that one is Suzaku, or based around Suzaku.
Yes. I need to put ribbons on everyone, or that sleep is going to be a problem.
And don't forget that it has Reflect Up.
Yep. Ash, you need to not do that. How about you take some time to cast Bubble on yourself while Pinello uses Dispel?
I agree. Also, if I'm remembering correctly, I think Final Fantasy Type 0 also used the Four Sacred Animal theme as well.
Okay, well, that was moderately terrifying. Also cool, I got a Fate Stone. That's a pretty rare item.
Wow, that was easy. And you were scared, Spar.
I see an N-Titan and I just kind of shit myself. Is how it works in this game. But yeah, that was actually not that bad at all.
Yeah.
If it were one of the N-Tites that's in like the Necro Hall of Nabudis, then yeah, I would actually be scared by that.
Or if it wasn't the Esther San at the very beginning of the game. Or Wester San, not Esther San.
Yeah, those two.
But you're at the point where now you can take them on.
Well, I ran around completely the wrong way to get to the altar that I needed to. So, oops.
Whoops.
But yeah, I knew once I thought about it, and especially once I saw that the thing was weak to fire, I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be easy.
Kill with fire.
Mm-hmm. Yay, we have the mini-map back.
And your abilities are again your own.
Koryu is the sort of head honcho of the Guardians, and I don't know if it has a comparison in this game.
I would probably say no.
Unless you would say that Yasmat is Koryu, because it's here, and it is light element.
It is a dragon, so it could count, yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm going to go with, at least.
And Koryu, for the most part, in whatever sort of media it's used in, like Persona or just SMT in general, tends to be a bonus super boss, so yeah. Or I guess in Persona 4 it's actually the final Arcana thing. Arcana Persona. The ultimate one. Yeah, that.
Yes. In Persona 5, Koryu is the ultimate persona of the Hierophant. Arcana.
Mm-hmm. I do know if Kazuma Kiryu was a Persona user, he'd have Koryu, because he's the Dragon of Dojima. Yeah, I could see it. Though actually, I think he would have Bahamut.
I think they might be making a pun because Dojima is the character from Persona 4 that embodies the Hierophant Arcana.
Oh yeah, I know. I just wanted to mix it with Final Fantasy just for fun. So that way we have Yakuza Persona Final Fantasy.
So there's a fun thing here. I'm going to go down this way real quick. Maybe not. I guess that's how I come back up. So in order to get the map here, I actually need to click the wrong waystone. Which sends me back to the beginning. And then click a wrong one again. Which will take me to a secret area where I can... Well, you get accosted by a basically limitless number of undead enemies, which have a lot of status effects, which is really, really nice thing that I have the ribbons equipped. Redis is dead.
You know what would actually be very helpful here, though?
What's that?
A Worm Hero Blade.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. The only big problem with it, I guess, is that it's so slow.
True. Although, they would get one-shotted. Well, maybe not this Dead Bones. Oh, now he would.
Okay, Vaughn, please finish what you're doing so that I can have you pick up the thing.
Does there exist a dragonfish persona? I don't think so.
I need to take out all the enemies before I can move on. Okay. I'm basically just letting the game go right now. There's not really much I could do to speed this along unless I wanted to go with the Worm Hero Blade.
True.
Although I really should use that remedy on Redis now, because he just got hit by that.
No, there's definitely not a persona that's a dragonfish. If we wanted to, like, take it from some other sort of media, La Mulana has, Bahamut, which is a dragonfish.
Alright.
I don't know if that counts, though.
I can move on away from all those enemies now.
And Redis is dead. And he's back.
Okay, and I need to use the Black Sigil Waystone. These are bombs that are weak to holy damage, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the Purobolos. May find Wormfire Shot at a dead end.
I've already got that. I've had that for a long time.
Wait, from the chest here or just in general?
Just in general. The Wormfire shot's like one of the first ammos you can pick up.
Oh.
I guess let's get Bosch back in the party for float.
Ah, you also got the Antares, and in this area is also Flare.
Yes.
And we do see the green sigil waystone, which will teleport you to a secret room. Which has Ardor.
Yeah, funny that you get these after the boss that's weak to fire, though.
It's just like one of those games where it's like, oh yeah, here's like this ultimate weapon that would have actually made the boss battle that you just fought and was very difficult much easier.
Also the white robes, which I am now going to equip on... Oh, I have the brave suit on Vaughn because he's about the only person using light armor, and the brave suit auto-equips bravery.
Oh yeah, and that's actually very helpful for him too, with the physical attack bonus.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll put the white robes on Ash for now. She needs the damage boost the most, I think.
Funnily enough, if you did not have float active, the trap where the white robes are actually will heal you.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, but sadly all the other traps are like, no, I'm gonna hurt you. So, screw that. Also, you can find a one-time guaranteed Ultima Blade around this area. Or, no, it's at after the red sigil.
Let's see. I guess red sigil.
That's the one that leads to the Ultima Blade. And... ooh. Apparently the sigil that you choose here is...
Has to be the same one that I chose before, so I would choose the Sigil of Sacrifice, which is the pink one. The problem being that there's one that's pink and one that's purple, and they look the same. Hopefully the names are actually different so I can tell which one is which.
I would hope so. Although I can actually tell the difference.
Okay, that one's purple, this one's definitely pink.
Back on the main map. Hooray!
Nice. Put some other arrows back on Pinello. Get Vaughn out of the party because he's high level now. Ash back in, I guess. Oh, Ash still has a ribbon because I didn't put a ribbon back on Bosch when I put him in the party. Jesus Christ, I kind of wish I just had 6 ribbons. So I didn't have to worry about all this. Alright, so after this I want to go north. There's a fake wall here. Whoopsie. Wasn't paying attention to that. Oh cool, you can kind of see the thing inside the waystone is like a lens. That's really cool.
Oh yeah. That is actually really cool.
Alright, use the waystone, and we are very close to the next boss fight. You want to know how to make this boss fight really easy?
How?
You take your time mage, set a gambit for ally any to cast float. Because float, for some reason, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Makes all earth attacks, even ones that hit you directly in the face, miss completely.
Seems legit. So they pretty much just went the Pokemon route.
Mm-hmm. I am doing pretty well, Jeppo. It's been a tough week, but it's getting better. Being able to actually get content done has definitely helped.
It's kind of been a busy week for me, because 2 update patches, one very big, one small, but still needs feedback, and then I got to deal with that next week for another game. Also having to record a lot of footage.
Mm-hmm.
And then level up a character completely from scratch for a work live stream yesterday.
Ah, alright.
That was fun.
I actually want to put the Amano Murakama back on because it's wind damage. Do you have any wind arrows? No, you do not. Alright. Well, this ought to be fine.
And this is the Esper Hashmal.
Yes, who will probably also trigger PTSD for people playing 14, as Nat is saying here. Also one of the toughest boss fights in those raids.
May also cause a little bit of PTSD for anyone who may have played Mobius Final Fantasy, because Hashmal was the Earth boss.
Ah, okay. I'm setting my controller down.
Hashtag game plays itself.
Yeah, so he used Quakeja, which did nothing. He did end up killing Ash through normal attacks, though.
Yeah, you had 99 problems, but a float ain't one.
Redis also died afterwards, but I don't really care that much about Redis not getting XP.
Have you ever noticed that his name backwards spells sadder? Because unfortunately, compared to your characters, it's just, yeah.
He's just kind of an extra body at this point. If I didn't have the crazy equipment, then he would be really, really good. He's also not here in the victory screen because he was dead!
So now he's even sadder. You know, you could cast lure on him to make him just be like a taunt tank. But, that's a waste of a spell.
Also, in the next fight, it wouldn't work. Because of a very special thing for the next fight.
True.
Oh, I should turn off that float gambit now. Taunt tank is basically just a tank that is very strong and will always be the target of the opponent's aggro.
Calling him sadder fits with the story.
Quite a few chests that have things here.
Yeah, dark matter and mega elixirs.
Some that we actually skipped from this cutscene, so you would have to turn around and grab them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't care, because I'm not going to be using dark matter anyway.
I wonder if
But what about the mega elixirs?
Those I also don't care about.
I have spells. I'm good enough.
Feel. It's hard, losing someone you care about.
Something we all got in common.
But you know, no matter how hard we try, we can't change the past. There's nothing that can bring them
I have a
back.
feeling that we're going to be
Still,
pushing the
sometimes
final
when I
boss
close
off to
my
the next
eyes,
session, depending on
can
how
see them
long
so
these
clearly.
couple boss fights here
Illusions
take
of the
in
past.
this next
You
little
think
bit.
to have cast them off, only to find them years later, unwearying, unrelenting.
Yeah, because we
The
got
past can bind a man
like 2 boss
surely
fights
as
left.
irons.
And then some cutscenes. It's the cutscenes that are going to take a while, mostly. As for your question, Jeppo, I think it's certainly possible that we get a Nintendo Direct. There's a rumor that they're finally gonna, actually put out Advance Wars after pushing that back forever and ever. I'm surprised they haven't put the Yakuza games on Switch, actually. It feels like a thing that they would do. Especially now that they've got Persona on there, Yakuza seems like the next logical step.
Yeah, actually, Yakuza is pretty much a good franchise, so I don't really see why not, unless they can't for some reason.
Yeah, not sure. Big cutscene, big boss fights coming up. And by big boss fights, I mean probably gonna die very quickly, the bosses are.
We'll see.
But you're going to use the sword to destroy the Suncrest. Aren't you, Ash?
Don't interrupt me, Vaughn.
One sword would destroy the Suncrest, the other would cut off a new piece of nethicite for us to use.
And one ring to rule them all.
People in the chat being like, yeah, shut up, Vaughn, you're not the main character.
Yeah, we all know that the leading man is Balthier. He even says it himself.
There's I guess Ash is really the most main character in the game, because she's the one chosen by the Ikuria. But I would argue that Bosch and Balthier both also fit those roles.
I can believe it.
In certain parts of the game. There's so many interlocking stories that don't actually connect that much. They're just kind of happening side by side without interacting, really.
I cannot.
But
why do you hesitate?
Fran gets her little thing in the Galmor jungle with the Vieras, and that's about it. She doesn't really have much else going on in the story, and Vaughn and Pinello really don't do anything.
Yes, it was I who wore Bosch's face, who cut down the life of Dalmasca. Lady Ash, your father's murderer is here.
You and Rex!
I slew your king. I slew your country. Do these deeds not demand vengeance? Yes, good. Find your wrath. Take up your sword. Fight, and serve those who died before you.
A Judge Magister there was.
Oh yeah, we get to learn about how badass Redis was.
Midlight shard, stolen from Nabratia, and used it not knowing what he did. And Nabudis was blown away.
Redis was the one that destroyed Nabudis.
True power.
He was formerly a judge.
Never to let such terrible power
Yep.
be used again.
That's two judges that we've had in our party.
Which is why Balthier doesn't trust him, I guess.
Judge Zect.
It's been too long, Gabranth.
Man, if I had a nickel for how many judges we had in our party, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's a weird coincidence that it happened twice.
Something beyond our reach. Try as we might, Gabranth.
And to answer your question, Jeppo, yes, Nolan North is in Final Fantasy XII. He is the voice of Bossler.
Ah, okay.
No.
Yuri Lowenthal is also in Final Fantasy XII. He is the voice of Rex.
What is your past, daughter of Dalmasca?
And since we are seeing Redis, he is voiced by Phil Lamar.
Oh, okay. Weird, I don't recognize that.
I think it's because like he's doing like a different voice from like what he's kind of used to, or recognizable from other stuff. Like if you watch Futurama, then you know that he is Hermes, and he is also a Reverend Preacher Bot. Yeah, he does definitely put a spin on his voice. Hence why, like, even I didn't recognize it.
My prince.
He's Ollie Williams in Family Guy. Okay, that's why I definitely never recognized him in either of those.
Yuri Lowenthal was definitely popular before Persona 4. He did other voices before that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did.
The wrestler I knew is gone.
You are our saint, Ashalia Benagan. You must use the Nethicite. You must be the one to straighten history's weave.
I am no false saint for you to use.
Ash.
In all Dalmasca's long history, not once did we rely on the dust.
Yeah, Yuri Lowenthal was the voice of Alucard in Castlevania back in '97.
Might be dire. That was the Dalmasca I wanted back. To use the stone now.
I would say he got more popular for voicing other characters than
I will destroy the Sun Christ.
Than for voicing you. Is it you?
No, it's not. It's not me. I'm not in Persona 4 Spar.
Who was it he voices in 4?
Oh, you mean the protagonist?
Yu Narukami, yeah.
No, that's Johnny Young Bosch.
Okay, then it's
I can't help my brother now.
God, I can't remember Persona 4 names.
Gone. He's dead.
Yosuke, that's it.
Husuke?
Even with power, we cannot change what is past. What is done is done.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just gonna like take the shit out of Yosuke. I don't care.
Good, he deserves it.
Yet without power,
Phil Lamar was Dormammu in Marvel vs. Capcom. What?
Huh.
Then I will defend Queen and Kingdom both.
He was Aquaman and Green Lantern in Injustice?
Defend you.
Jeez.
You who failed Landis and Dalmasca. What can shame hope to keep safe? Your shield is shattered.
Man, that guy has
Your
range.
oaths poison those you would protect.
Mortal Kombat X Colocon. Okay. Kevin in Metal Gear Rising.
And then we get a bonus scene in this boss fight for having Bosch in the party.
Yay! You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Well, he's also just one of my best damage dealers right now.
Aye. This stain is mine to bear, but I will bear it.
That is some default face, though. One of the only times that we see an in-combat model used for a scene.
In the end, we are the same. Bloodthirsting carrion birds. Hellbent on revenge.
Did that do anything? I don't even think I took damage from that. Also, you're dead. Well, not dead, but done.
It looked like Redis was the only one in range of it, and he parried it. Because everyone else was behind you, and Bosch did not take any damage, so Redis had to be the target.
Alright. Also, look, it's Dr. Dick.
You forswear obligations to your emperor.
Well, I was writing down my notes for this section. I meant to write Dr. Sid, and I wrote Dr. Dick by accident.
And my response was, wait, I thought that was his name. Considering that he is a bit of a dick.
And now we get into some of the bullshit magic powers of telekinesis that don't really make sense in this universe.
Of course. But then again, a lot of stuff in this game and just this universe just doesn't make sense.
It's a really cool world. I actually really like Evil East as a world in general, and I really like a lot of the characters. But man, there's a lot of this game that I don't like at all.
To write our own history.
And at what price? Dalmasca's freedom for your Nethicite? I shall not suffer you to have it. The Suncrest be damned.
Be sure that it is. For what other purpose do you think you brought us here?
Dr. Sid has some of the best voice acting in the whole game. We said it before, and we'll say it again.
The Suncrest is glutted with
Yeah,
mist, and so precious
he really
that it
does.
must not be squandered. Let us use the stone. Finish this for now.
Yes, there was a sequel to Final Fantasy XII that released on the DS, but it was more of a strategy RPG kind of game, and a lot of people didn't like it as much.
Yeah, it was more like Final Fantasy Tactics in that regard, in terms of gameplay.
I would say it was even more strategy than that, because you were also controlling, like, mini summons as well. Whereas Tactics, I guess you just have normal troops. Also, it really didn't have anything to do with the original 12 story. Other than some of the, like... It connected to it, but it doesn't have anything to do with anything that's in this game. It doesn't affect this game at all.
Yeah, I think like the only real reference to the original 12 is just the characters from it being in it.
It deals with a people that were banished by the Ocuria to a realm of flying islands, which we can access because of a thing that Vaughn and Penelo and Balthier and Fran do at the start of that game. Alright, bring out your big-ass gun, which you can completely avoid by standing to either the left or the right. Or you could just take the damage because it does nothing anyway.
I like how it's just a minigun that just shoots out explosives.
The fruit of our power and knowledge. See what the Stone of Man is capable of. Witness its power with your own eyes. Fanfreed to me!
This is actually the only time that we see someone summon an Esper outside of the party, I'm pretty sure.
And sadly, we don't get any of the gory effects of it too, like I mentioned before with Belias in the manga.
Let's see, I need to change my gambits because let me actually change my party as well, because Famford is weak to fire. And I want to change max HP to be who I'm attacking. Kunir, fiery arrows, Muramasa is good, and I need to put this ribbon on. Okay, and now we go. I didn't mean to select Redis. Yeah, so Sid is now actually immune to all damage until Famford is done.
Yeah.
Which will be momentarily, it looks like.
And if I remember correctly, I think Famford was the second tier water elemental boss in Final Fantasy, or Mobius Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
First one being Shiva, third tier being Leviathan. And Famford is down. Fortunately, he doesn't have anything left to drink.
I don't think the Esper itself is man-made. Sid just used the power of the manufactured nethicite to summon it.
Also, look at the cutscene power to the max. Like, that thing is so powerful. Well, one, first, the bitrate is definitely crying right now because of that.
Well, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, but, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But, yeah, that thing pretty much would blow up that lighthouse. Everyone in it would be dead.
Well, I mean, the building itself is probably fortified by the magic.
Probably, but there would be some structural damage.
Uh-oh, Daddy's dead.
Oh no! Now who will pay our child support payments? Wait, do they even have child support in Ivalice? And you have obtained Famfrit, the Darkening Cloud.
Yep.
Which we are never going to use as well.
Nope. Because, unfortunately, they kind of never made Espers really worth using. Oh, he's not actually dead.
The pleasure was all mine.
Someone had to fund Balthio's fancy cloak and custom airship.
Was there no other way?
Spend your pity elsewhere. If you are so set on running, hadn't you best be off, fool of a pirate?
Okay, now Daddy's dead.
Oh, he's just becoming one with the Force.
I mean, yeah, basically.
Fran? Fran!
The writers just said, oh wait, Viera are supposed to be affected by large amounts of mist. That's right.
Yeah, Fran, you're gonna be knocked out for a bit, sorry.
The Suncrest bursts. You must run as far as you can.
Easy, Fran.
Hadn't you best be off? That's what a sky pirate does. You fly, don't you?
I suppose you'd better hang on then.
Oh, what a tender moment between the two.
Uh-huh. Except there's no way Fran's gonna die here.
Yeah. Too bad this will not result in anything.
Thank you.
You must quit this place.
I saw that pop up like, nope, get out of our chat.
I was trying to get my mouse onto the ban button, and I didn't quite hit it in time. I was in a chat yesterday where 3 of them popped up back to back. Like, all at the same time.
Wow.
Let's go, Redis!
I remember I did a stream on my own channel last week, and for some reason, although I only had like maybe 2-3 viewers, bam, one of them was a bot.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, I don't care who's watching, I'm just doing this for fun. And now, he is saddest.
Hmm.
The explosion scene around Ivalice.
And think about how far away the lighthouse is that they could see that explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Rethys.
That the party somehow survives.
Yep.
I don't know why you're giving me the option to save my game. You're about to send me back to Balfenheim and I can just save there.
Probably because of cutscenes.
I guess.
You know, at least that's like the nice thing that this game has done. It's like, okay, we gave you a ton of cutscenes and all that without saving. Let's actually like split it up. Here's a save. That way, if you need to take a break, you couldn't just pause the some of the cutscenes, if I recall.
It's been a while since we've had a scene without voice acting.
That's true.
I'm sure there's an implication of Balthier and Fran having some kind of physical or romantic relationship or some combination thereof, but there's no romance in the game that's ever made clear aside from Ash and her late husband.
Like, there's some implied stuff, but that's as far as it goes.
I remember there being a scene, I think I mentioned this in a previous part. I thought there was a scene where Vaughn and Penelo kiss at the end of the game, but that's just not real. I don't know where I got that from.
Imagination.
Probably a fanfiction.
Also that.
My lady, the war begins now.
Then you were unsuccessful in stopping the Rosarian fleet?
I used a variety of methods. All went according to plan until it came time to request withdrawal of our most devoted generals. In their enthusiasm for war, our great military leaders went behind my back straight to Marquis Sandor's resistance.
The Resistance?
During training, a division of the Resistance ignored their orders and disappeared. They were next found exchanging broadsides with the Imperials over Old Nabradia.
Why would they go there? They were asking to be found.
This guy is Al Cid, who is one of the princes of the Rosarian Empire, which is the nation that is currently at war with the Arcadian Empire, and who we are trying to help prevent the war from escalating. Sadly, the rest of the people involved in the war don't want that to happen because they want the war to go through.
His Excellency the Marquis was obliged to give his men.
And he is known as Al Cid because we already had a Cid, so he's the alternate Cid. That's how they differentiate the two of them. That's totally not my headcanon.
The defense of Dalmasca is their excuse, and we will have a war between empires.
Correct. They will bide their time waiting to strike until the Empire has spent itself against the Marquis. But then he will crush them and the Marquis both between his hands.
Vayne holds the Dusk Shard no longer. His advantage is lost.
Vayne has advantages enough. He stands on higher ground, and my birds tell me he has awoken something quite large. Bahamut, Lord of the Sky. There was a stirring in the mist, in the direction of Ridorana, I am told. Bahamut awoke soon after this.
It is the mist that came before the Christ was undone. It breathed life.
So Vayne ended up creating a giant airship that drunk in tons of mist, and so he has now basically created a superpower.
I mean, if he just needed some mist, why didn't he just ask? I would have bought him like a whole case of Sierra Mist.
And so it falls to me to put an end to the thing.
Vayne commands Bahamut himself?
He comes to Rabanastar.
Then I will defend Dalmasca and stop this Bahamut. This is my charge.
That's our charge, actually.
It's our home. It belongs to us all.
Oh right, you characters exist.
And my charge is to hinder and delay this Rosarian invasion for as long as is possible. I will do what I can. Ah, yes. When this unpleasantness is done, you must come to Rosaria. I will take you to the Amber Vale of Clan Margrace. Such things I will show you. Until then, I will be waiting.
Is that all? Do we have more cutscenes?
Uh,
A little bit more. And that was it. I don't really think we really needed a save point in between those cutscenes because it wasn't really that long. But we are done for today because I think we should leave the final boss for next time.
alrighty.
We are, well, not currently, but we will be ready to take on the Sky Fortress, the Bahamut, and take the battle directly to Vayne and shove it down into his face and kick his ass. But next time we will also be taking on some of the side content, like the Gilgamesh fights and maybe Yasmat and the Omega weapon, if I can manage to do those as well. So I hope you guys tune in for that. Like I said, next weekend I'll be doing a quick look of SpongeBob SquarePants Cosmic Shake, and the week after will be Axel and Flame doing a Mega Man X randomizer. And of course there will be Pokemon Emerald streams in the midst of all of that, and of course Snake will be doing his streams on Sundays and Mondays as well. I think he said he's planning to finish up Birth by Sleep Final Mix tomorrow night, so definitely tune in for that. And I hope you guys have enjoyed, and tune in for all of these other streams that we've got going on, and be sure to check out the YouTube channel for the ongoing playthroughs and stuff like that. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.